Hockey here. Hello. Well, welcome. Lost the mic. Oh, there we go. Welcome to YesFest 91. Anybody remember YesCon 85 and 87? We had a great time there. And of course, we had them on the phone, which was the best we could do at the time because they were all over the world. But this is really amazing because they are in town, as you know. And not only they, but all 8 of them. We couldn't get Trevor Horn, Jeff Downs, Patrick Moraz, and Peter Banks. No. But the 8 are in town. We hope to have many of them drop by. We know that Steve Howe's going to come by tomorrow. Thank you. Steve Howe, you've heard of him? He's the guy who Trevor Rabin replaced. Right. He'll be here tomorrow around 1 o'clock, and he's got a new album called Turbulence coming out on Relativity, which was supposed to be out this week, but I think now it's the end of the month. So he'll be definitely stopping by. And maybe many of the others. Bruford we're still working on. He's reluctant, and he has a new album to promote. You'd think he'd want to come and talk about it. Bill Bruford's Earthworks have a new album coming out in a few weeks. Let's say hello to Suzanne Sircone. It was her insanity that made this happen.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. I hope you have a great time. We have people here from England, Japan, all over California and everything. I hope you enjoy the show tonight. If you need anything, please find us. We have a pass around our neck, okay? Have a good day.
Of course, Wonder Stories, the publication that Suzanne puts out, sponsoring this event. So we've got all kinds of rare videos to show you, all kinds of events you see on the schedule. Check your program, and when the band comes, of course, we know we're going to be civil, right? We're not going to have any kind of like mob scene or anything. That would not be good. That would not be good because we want the ones that come to tell the others how great it is, and they should all come over too. So we're all fans here, so we know we have a respect for the music and for the musicians. And the shows are incredible. If you haven't seen the tour, you probably already have seen the tour, The Last Leg. If you haven't, you know they're amazing. Now, they were rehearsing last night, and I hope that means they're working on some new stuff, right? You know what? They're working on Close to the Edge. They'll do it tonight? Wow. I thought maybe Saving My Heart or Miracle of Life or something they might do. Saving My Heart, which is the new single. We're going to start out with some very rare video that has been shot in Pensacola. Now, these are evidently songs that they rehearsed but didn't put into the final set. So we have some rare Pensacola video from the rehearsals for this tour, starting things off. Ooh, Union poster, signed by John, Tony, Alan, Rick, Steve. Not bad. 5 out of 8. Complete the whole set. Collect the whole set. This one is number 106, Frank Wolf. Alan White for Ludwig drums. Here, Alan and Ludwig on the latest from Yes, Big Generator. I didn't know Ludwig played on Big Generator. And signed by Alan, looking very nice. We all know he's the backbone of this band, don't we? Yes. Great Alan White. Trev. All right, can't look back. Autographed. He's so cute. Okay. Number 203, Kim Betts from Wilton, Connecticut. Came a long way. All right, Kim. Earthworks with Bill, what's his name? Says, YesFest winner, best wishes, Bill Bruford. Well, that was nice of him. All right. We'll let him play tonight. This is for Sue Smith, number 218. How appropriate. Sue of the original YesCon and Relayer magazine. Just what you always wanted, Sue. Where are you? Here she is. Accepting for Miss Smith will be Tanya Code, our partner in crime. Okay. There's a nice shot of the 90125 Big Generator Band with John autograph on it. And a Trevor poster. The greatest artists play the best. Korg. She needs it. You need it? Well, try to get it from... this is Sid Schratz. Looks like it's Schwartz. Schwartz, 923-050. Got it? All right, we have confirmation, 3:30. It's about an hour. Alan White will definitely be here, and hopefully the young and cute Trevor Rabin, hopefully. Oh. So, but they say Trevor's not feeling well. He's got a bad back, so don't be rough with him, okay, please? Like, you know, let's not have any pushing, shoving, running to the front. Let's be very dignified. This is not Guns N' Roses, right? Right. So don't go anywhere, 3:30. A picture of John, signed by John, and a poster for Union for 923-000. Vinny. Vinny. Hey, Vinny, you got it. Okay, that's Vinny. Yeah. All right. Lucky number. We have a copy of the Dan Hedges. Can you hear me okay back there? This is a minimum bid of $100. This is the Yes book by Dan Hedges. You're familiar with the Yes authorized biography, but this is signed by everybody you could think of, including Debbie Anderson, Damian Anderson, Tony Dimitriadis, Patrick Moraz, Claude Johnson Taylor, you remember Claudie, the roadies, of course all the band members, and all of these, Peter Banks. I mean, this is unbelievable. Everybody has signed this. So it is really remarkable. A minimum bid of 100. Do we have a minimum bid of 100? 100. Okay, we have 100. Do we have, I don't know, 105? Well, you don't have to, you're the one that bid the 100, right? Oh, who bid 100? I can't hear you. You say 100, you say 105? So I see 110? No, you just bid 105, right? I can't see you, and I can't hear you. So, who bid the 105? You did. Now, you bid 110? Yes? 115? 120 over here? No, we have a bid of $115. Every autograph of everybody you could think of, that even, it's every person who ever saw a Yes knows. But it's everybody who was in the band and other people associated. $115. Anybody? The book itself is rare. The autographs make it even better. 115. Where's 120? 120. Do I hear 125? 125? Do I hear 130? Can't hear you. Where's 130? 130. 135, anybody? 135 right here. 135. Anybody 140? Do I hear 140? I have a bid of $135. Yes. 150. The man wants the book. $150. Do I hear 155? $150. Okay, 150 going what? 155? Is it 150? 150 going once? 150. 155 over here. Do I hear 160? Do I hear 160? Yes, 160 over here. 160. $160. Hard for me to hear you up here without the music on. 160 going once. Do I hear 165? 160 going once. 160 going twice. Sold for 160. Come on up.
Master volcano, lovers with the pleasure, sing to the power, we will sail to the east, and all hands shall rise to the call.
Okay. Region symbol autographed by Alan White. It says thanks for everything. Keep on. Keep on listening, lots of love, best wishes, everything you can think of to write on here. Alan White, what? $50, do I hear 50? 50. Do I hear 55? $50, do I hear 55? Alan White autographed symbol. 55, do I hear 60? $55 for Alan White autographed symbol. Worth a lot of money new. Okay, $55. Do I hear 60? I don't hear 60. $55. 60 right here. $60 up front here. 60. Do I hear 65? Anybody bid 65? 65 back there. 65. Anybody going for 70? They're counting their money. I have 65. Do I hear $70? I don't hear $70. $65 going once. 65 going twice. Sold for 65. Come on up. Who is that back there? Is it recently bid 65? That's what I thought it was. Okay. A speed pedal, an Alan White autographed speed pedal from DEW Drums. Drummers, it's a bargain. It's worth a couple hundred. Starting at $50. $50 for Alan White's autographed speed pedal. Do I hear 50? I don't hear $50. $50 for Alan White's autographed speed pedal. It's worth about $250. No drummers on hand want to take it for 50. $50? Do I hear 50? Can't hear you. Yes? $50. $50. Do I hear 55? Did I hear 55? I didn't hear it. $50. Okay, we don't hear 55, is that right? $50 going once. A bargain for drummers, $50 going twice. There you go, $50. Sold.
be right at the stage area. Keep it out here.
Leave it away.
Welcome to YesFest 91, gentlemen. Get you in front of a mic.
Hey. Huh? Yeah.
So, Trevor, what happened? You hurt your back in Florida? Is that what we hear? Did you?
Yes,
Yeah?
I did.
How you feeling?
I got a brace on, so I'll be all right.
Really?
I might sit down tonight, but
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And Alan, how you're always in good shape?
His mic's not working, but otherwise it's fine.
The backbone of the band, ladies and gentlemen, Alan White. All right. Now, I'm going to start with a couple of questions for Alan. Alan, what is Eddie Jobson's relationship to Yes in 1983, and is he in the Owner of a Lonely Heart video?
He's yes, he was in the first video. It was because there was a kind of upset in the studio at that time, and he didn't last in the band very long because everybody knew that really Tony was the guy that should be the keyboard player.
And did Tony Kaye replace Eddie Jobson in '83? Well,
Yes.
You just said he did. Okay. And Alan, why weren't there lyrics released with this album, Union? Because nobody could figure out what they
Nobody
were.
could figure out what they were. Yes. I don't know. You'd have to ask John tomorrow.
Okay, well, that's John. That means John will be here.
Trevor knows the answer.
Trevor Rabin,
Well,
who's thinking to himself, how the hell did I get involved with this bunch of people? What am I doing here, right?
there's so much information on the album, there just wasn't room for the lyrics.
Right, there were so many credits. Right. Trevor, are you going to grace any of your new Alvarez guitars with the glow of your artistic brilliance as a painter, as you did with your 62 Strat Hee Robin, Montreal?
Well, I could get into trouble, but depends how I feel. Yeah, I think at some point I will. Because what I do is I took the with the Strat. The reason I took the paint off was because the sustain wasn't the way I wanted it. So I took it off just to experiment with different textures and different paints. Nothing worked, and eventually it looked like a mess. So I just painted on top of it. So I'm sure that'll probably happen at some point.
Huh, okay. This doesn't affect the sound, it's just...
It does.
Oh, it does affect the sound?
Yeah.
Oh.
Very slightly, but enough to notice.
All right. To Trevor, since you joined Yes, have you had any contact with your former Rabbit members, and do they like the work you have done with Yes, or have they told you this?
Actually, I'm still very friendly with them, and I see them quite often. And they're a little biased. They like what I've done with Yes, but obviously they prefer what I've done with them.
Oh, did they want you to stick around in Rabbit for a while, and were they like miffed at all when you went? Well, you actually went off to be a solo artist in England first.
Right. I was thinking of asking Alan and Chris to join Rabbit. Give more 10K.
All right.
2K.
One there, mic, not my mic. Thank you. Turn my mic down. Tell you. Trevor, when you played Solid Beard at Japan in 1988, there was a sync on the stage. I wonder what it is. Could you please describe it for me from Sekiko Kaji from Tokyo?
That was really, we went to a club we were taken to a club by the promoter. It's going to feed back. And we didn't expect to go to this club that we went to. And something pretty weird happened. And the next night was the last show. I think it was Nagoya. Yeah. And so as a joke, the road crew pulled this, it was a fish tank with Gatorade in it, because I drink Gatorade backstage. And pulled the fish tank on stage. It's had some kind of relationship to the club the night before, and it wasn't very pleasant. You had to be there.
To be in the band. Sekiko was there. Are you here, Sekiko? She came all the way from Tokyo. YesFest. Okay. Now, some general questions regarding a future album for Yes. Frank Mancuso says, how would you think it may be structured in terms of the writing and recording of a more collective effort?
It's difficult to say right now. What we're doing right now is just getting on with the task we have and finishing these 85 gigs. There's an awful lot of gigs that we've been doing. We're getting to the end of the period we've had right now, which is a lot of playing on stage, and everybody's getting on really fine, and there's ideas being talked about writing for a next album, but I can only say as much as that right now.
Actually, also, you know, even though the tour might be going very well and everyone's enjoying it, but the process of creating new music is very different to the process of getting existing music together. So, you know, that's something we're going to have to look at. So it's really anyone's guess at this point what happens after the tour.
All right. What are the long-range plans? Well, you kind of answered that for this band as for future recordings with this lineup. So it's kind of up in the air. And then what direction will the band take after the completion of this tour? Are you planning to remain 8 together, Sean Hansen?
Really, same answer.
How about what are your favorite arenas to play in, says Greg Klonsky.
Next Spectrum.
To anyone, do you think you guys think you'll be together in the year 2000?
Well, I flew here...
Individually or collectively?
Individually or collectively. I flew here with John on the plane yesterday morning. We caught an early flight, and John kept saying, he said, you know, I am X age, which is about 46, 47, right?
46 going on
46 going on 47. And he said, I feel really good about this. I expect to be doing this way into the future. So it's obviously positive.
The new box set, Yes Years, has very little previously unreleased material. Well, it has a bunch. It is a well-known fact that there is much more. Is there a chance we will ever get to hear it, Robert Mitchell?
There's numerous tapes from way back to, I know, from way back to 72 when I joined the band, that I have a small collection of things that were never ever released. There are lots of jams between Chris and myself and Rick and John and soundcheck. There's numerous stuff. No, we can't put it out. It's just stuff that's personal to everybody in the band. But they've got a few of those things on the box set that are pretty good. We like them.
Did you have a hand in getting together some stuff for the box set? They consult the band members or how?
Yeah, they played us everything they wanted to put on it.
We had some cinema tracks.
You put some cinema tracks on there?
Yeah, when we first started, Chris, myself, Alan, Tony first started, we went into Chris's studio and we did 4 tracks for the record company initially, and we put a couple of those on. And then Chris wrote a song, a new song called Love Conquers All, with a friend of his, which is really good, and that's going on.
Okay. We answered this, will they stay together for another album? Well, that's
Same
up
album.
in the air. Is this lineup contracted to do any more recordings? If so, how many or how long?
We got 4 hours. It's
Right,
the contract.
lawyers will answer that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's such a complex contract.
yeah,
It's
this
ridiculous.
album really was a union of the two bands, except for the two four-piece bands, kind of. You had the Europe tracks and the ABWH tracks.
Right.
There is now the contract.
Oh, there should be another four, but, so. All right. Well, with Alistair, I guess. Jen, what is your favorite Yes track? And as far as all Yes material, and also material you have played on? Alan? Machine Messiah or what?
It's very difficult when I get this question. It's because spanning such an era from '72 to today, so many versions of the band that I've been involved with, and so many great albums that I've been involved with at different times, which have been different periods of the band's life. There's great moments from all of them. Basically, Relay was a great album. To be graphic, you go all the way back to this pieces of music on all albums that are very, very close to me. There's things that I prefer wouldn't come out like that, but there's also some great moments, and I think you just got to isolate which period, basically. That's my question.
Trevor, you have any faves? You were a little more objective, probably, on the early material.
Well, I'm kind of still a newcomer, although I've been there for 10 years now. I really enjoy playing, as far as the older stuff, I love playing, I'm enjoying playing Awaken, which is a lot of fun. And You and I very much enjoy playing. And I enjoy playing it with 8 people very much as well. Because we did And You and I with the 90125 lineup, or YesFest as we call it. But Yes East West, I also enjoyed with the 8 of us. And as far as the new material, stuff that I'm involved in writing and recording, afterwards I always listen back to and have certain things I'd like to change here and there. But the one I'd like to change least of all is probably I'm Running off the Big Generator.
I guess I should ask how are you getting along playing with Steve, and Alan, how are you getting along with Bill?
It's got better and better from my point of view. I mean, it started off as a clash in the beginning, but we get on very well. And, it's two very, very different styles, and we had to find ways to do it. When I joined the band, and it changed from what it was, cinema, and evolved into being called Yes. It took some time for me to feel really part of Yes. And in learning the old material, which we were going to do live, the quick part was learning it. The long part was finding how to approach it and how to play it so that it still retained the essence of what Steve did, but also I could put my own thing into it, but not so much that Tomato's fluence or Tomato's fluence did. So when we started playing together, I was so kind of used to playing it in the way I'd been playing it, which I obviously assumed was the right way, and Steve played it the traditional way, and we looked at each other, both thinking, you're doing it wrong. But we've kind of ironed it all out, and I think it's working really well. And Alan and Bill found he'll tell you about that.
We thought it'd be a lot more difficult than it actually was. Bill being the person who played on the first few albums that was very successful for the band. But then I took the music and I took it to what I thought it should have been. When I joined the band, we each gave each other 3 months to, and they were basically looking to make the band into a more heavier unit, as it were. We thought that when we both sat down and approached this music, it was going to be a lot more difficult than it actually was. In LA, we spent a week, and then we spent about 10 days in Pensacola. And basically, we had to talk a lot about it, and we came to an understanding between each other that people would, understand the sections that work best with each different drummer. So basically, he said, you take the helm as first drummer on quite a few of these things, because he didn't realize until he came back into the fold that I'd been playing this stuff for 18 years. And the rest of the band had also been playing for 18 years with me, so it had changed its character on stage. So it was a question of molding both of us together into that kind of the version we do with the 8 people, as we know within the band as the Yes Orchestra, and it's very good.
Is there kind of a drummer's language that you and Bill can talk in?
Kind of. It's just we understand what needs to be done and where it needs to be done, and we both are very giving and forgiving to the situation and let each other speak when necessary, musically.
All right. Well, what will become of Yes after the tour in the box set? Heaven only knows. We don't know. Okay. Who's the oldest member? Says B. Palm Sleeve.
We're the young one.
You're right. Alan just joined the band 19 years ago.
Actually, I am.
Who is?
The next youngest. After Trevor.
Who is the oldest?
John. Well, we don't know. Tony Cale never tells us that.
Yeah. We're coming here from the youngest to the oldest. And I think John and Tony will be the last here.
All right. Overall, Union has been nothing but a positive experience for most of your listeners. But what about the band? In other words, was it a positive experience, the album?
Like it.
Well, I mean,
You really recorded
it was peculiar, to be honest. You know, I mean, I was approached, you know, John called me about a year and a half ago to play some guitar on the Anderson Brook Awaken How album. And I was working at the time with Roger Hudson and wasn't around to do anything. And then sometime later, about I think 3 months later, John called me asking if I had any songs. And that's kind of how it all started. And then we were working together on stuff. And we did those songs which are now on the Union album. And that's how the evolution kind of started to becoming what it was. But we never worked at all on the other stuff, so it was 2 very separate entities. And I think there were a lot of frustrations. I mean, the producer, from an objective point of view, looking at it, I think the producer should have maybe questioned the idea of bringing in session musicians when you've got guys like Rick Wakeman and Steve playing. I don't know why bring in session musicians. And I think Rick feels a little bit like that. Might be a little more vocal about it than I am. But
on which tracks were these?
Well, all the AWBH tracks.
Right.
You know, I think there were people that worked on them, and you know, luckily for us on our tracks, we didn't allow that. It was, you know, we did our tracks, and it was just the 4 of us, and John came in and sang on it, and I thought that was the most honest way of doing it, and I would have stopped the track going out if there was going to be someone else.
If John hadn't sung on your tracks, what was your plan for the Yes album, or was there one?
That's what we were working on doing it, but we just weren't going to rush it as usual.
Well, does that mean would you have just sung the lead vocals, or did you have somebody else in mind, or what?
Either or, you know, we hadn't decided. We were taking it slow. Chris is in the band.
And he could sing too if he showed up.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, usually there's a lot of control over the final product. Union was a different process. Would the band like to rework any of the cuts as they stand on the album? Probably yes, all of the AWH tracks.
Well, actually, we play, one of the songs we play live, Shock to the System, I think works better live. And I think the whole band feels that way, because it's the band playing it. And, yeah, I just think live, you know, the enjoyment of playing it live, I don't see there being a rework or a remixes or anything like that.
Material, you know, you wrote Lift Me Up, you wrote Saving My Heart, right? Mm-hmm. But you wrote Miracle of Life, which...
And that's my favorite track that I wrote.
Yeah. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, it seems more like older Yes than your other...
That's funny, it was just totally unintentional. I mean, I remember Chris telling me he thought it sounded reminiscent of Close to the Edge in parts. But I mean, that song came. I was watching a TV documentary on what the Danish fisher, what they were doing to the dolphins in the Danish oceans, and it was disgusting. And that's really what I wrote it about, as a protest song on what's happening in the oceans. So, the miracle of life is really just a celebration to stop doing that, you know.
Trevor, when you think about, when you write a song, do you think that there are going to be a bunch of fanatics like this who are going to be, you know, listening to what they're going to think of it? Are you trying to get a hit on the radio? Do you just write it for yourself? What do you think about when you're writing?
I mean, I've sometimes been accused of writing, you know, bringing the pop element to the band and that, which it's not intentional, I promise. You know, when I write, I just write, and I really don't think of, you know, what radio stations are going to play it and demographically where it fits in. I just write. And, you know, writing Miracle of Life was no different to me to writing Own a Baloney Heart. You know, when I finish it, I look at it, and if I like it, then I'll say, yeah, this deserves being done.
So you don't really even know whether it's going to be for the group or yourself or whatever, just something that comes out?
Not really, although on my solo album, obviously, lyrically, it was a little more personal and specific. You know, like there's a song, Can't Look Away, which is very much about South Africa, and I thought, you know, I think that would be presumptuous to impose that on the band. You know, I think the lyrics that I bring to the band should be a little bit more to do with what the band's about.
Okay. Great album, by the way.
Can I just add to that?
Yes.
Alan. Miracle of Life is also my favorite track off the album. But you're going to kiss me even more in a minute. Also, Trevor is such a talented person. He has a vast array of music, not only that appeals to the older Yes fans, but to the new Yes fans. And I think we've only tapped the energy that this guy has with Boston.
And Rick,
I disagree.
That is definitely going to cost him money.
Rick agrees, right? Rick Wakeman agrees. Loves Trevor. Okay.
He's really cost me a fortune.
Where exactly has Eddie Oppert been these last 10 years?
Edward got involved with us. He just did something with us on the last American leg in Denver. He controlled one of the live broadcasts for the Kurds that we did. He did the sound for that, and he was involved with some of the tracks that are going on the box set. That I did it. We did it. Chris wrote one of the tracks. There's a few things around, and Let Go too. He was involved in that. So he's been around the band somewhat recently, but he's doing other projects right now.
How would you think it maybe what is this? Oh, future album. Oh, we did that one, I think. And we did that. Okay. We've run out of those cards. If anybody has we have for just a few more minutes. Anybody have a quick question? Come on.
We're supposed to be on stage rehearsing.
Oh, all right. Well.
What was that like playing with John Lennon? I'm sure you've heard me answer that one before. I've done so many times. He was a fantastic person, incredibly missed by a lot of people, and it was just a wonderful part of my life. I didn't realize, unfortunately, until years later what period of history I'd gone through, but it was absolutely fantastic. We got one over here.
Okay, I have a question for Trevor. I want to know if we could expect any more album covers like this one.
You do strange things when you're 19.
We do have a drum kit and some guitars and stuff. Could we persuade you guys to fool around for a few minutes? Come on. Come on.
Do you know what John's like? He's standing on stage right now throwing tantrums.
Something real quick, then we'll let you go. Come on, why don't just it'll be a warm up for you, no?
He's waiting for Chris, though, anyway.
All right.
I'm not playing pearl drums, that's for sure. No, I'll play something. What do you want to play?
Are we going to hear anything different tonight in the show, by the way? You can tell me. Oh, that's why he's supposed to be there. Okay. I mean, like Miracle of Life, you guys been working on that live yet? You have? Oh. How'd that European tour go? Pretty difficult. Mm-hmm. All right, the travel.
You bring up magazine? I see your picture in it. I'm a subscriber.
All right, what are we going to do here? Miracle of Life? No. Miracle of... That was great. Hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you very much, guys.